Like, it was dope as fuck. I couldn't really understand it.
I think he's going live, so we gotta be quiet. Yo, what's going on, Hawk fans? What's going on? It's your boy Mo Diggs. We got your boy Jello from Illinois here. We got After Harley in the house. Of course, we have the great director Mark Morales. Hope you guys like the look. He put a lot of work into that layout. I'm actually really excited about it. I love it. I think it promotes the right message. Right? What do y'all think? What do y'all think of the layout?
So nice. So nice. I like it a lot.
What's going on, Drew? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. Andrew couldn't be out here today. He's got some stuff going on. I'm sure he'll be with us at some point. But today we have a pretty cool show for you. If you pay attention to our Instagram page, I'll let you guys know we're going to talk about a couple shows and a movie, and we're going to get into this Will remix here that Joyner Lucas collaborated with Will Smith and Eminem. And yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about it. So why don't we go into The Hunt? The Hunt. And yes, Andrew, I watched The Hunt. It is nothing like The Purge. So The Hunt was a pretty awesome movie. Definitely super dark, twisted. I feel like it gave off like it was a mix between Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, and then they wanted to go ahead and throw in a little Shane Black, and that's the kind of movie that came out. I thought it was pretty awesome, man. Brian, did you get a chance to watch The Hunt?
I did, actually. I just watched it this morning. I liked it. It just...
It could have been better, man.
What's up?
It could have been better. It wasn't that great. It could have
been better. Like, I feel like for as big of a shitstorm that it caused with, like, the political, individuals that force Universal Studios to kind of put the lid on it, I feel like it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't as intense or as good of a movie or as like a revolutionary fucking movie for them to actually put a lid on it.
So what, you felt like there was nothing wrong with that movie? There's nothing wrong with the mentality to hurt people that are hurting you? That's what you're saying?
I mean, it's not that I find that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that there's 900 other movies that do the same shit, and they still premiered on time, and nobody threw a shit fit over it.
I mean, that's probably why they put a lid on it now, because those movies, got to air and premiere and whatnot, and it just promotes the wrong kind of mentality.
I think people are a bunch of soft asses. They're worried about the wrong. I feel like the people that put a lid on it are a bunch of soft asses that they're trying to censor. They're censoring things that don't need to be censored at the time that there's more important shit going on.
Yeah, I can see that. Did you watch The Hunt, Angela?
Man, I didn't get to watch it, but I really want to watch it.
Okay,
but
I figured.
You know what? After hearing what Brian said, though, with it didn't have as much of an impact and everything, I know I'm going back a little bit, but remember a while back we did a show about is the Marvel movies killing cinema. And remember one of my key points of whether it was CGI, green screen, or whatever the case may be, that it was the actual theater that made it come to life because of the surround sound, the setting, and all that shit. We're used to having to go see the big screen, all the lights down, everyone's hunkered in. You get the energy of the audience as well, which also hypes up the movie even more as you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now take that into consideration with what Brian just said.
Brian explained a movie and how he felt like it wasn't anything crazy to the point where they had to delay it. You're talking about ambiance?
I don't know.
How do you put two together? So, you're talking about the movie going experience.
Yes. Brian, do you feel like you would have a different look of the movie
if he was at a theater?
Yeah, do you feel like that changed anything?
Not at all.
No.
Just because, like, honestly, like with that movie, my biggest gripe was literally just the oversensitive censorship. Like, I mean, realistically, had I been at a movie theater, like surrounded by a bunch of people, like you know me, like I'd rather be the one free thinker. Like, you know, I analyze movies for what they are, like for the face value that they hold, and that movie just did not hold the value of over censorship.
All right.
Okay.
So, very good. So, anyways, nowadays, I don't know if anybody here is a comic book fan, but if you watch the show, maybe you are. We do talk a lot of comic books on the show. And DC is going to release the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. So, in being so, it's going to be a 6-episode event. It's going to be on HBO, so you can watch it at home. And this is going to be how he saw Justice League. So, you know, it's inspiring a lot of people are waiting. They want to see if this was any better than, you know, the shit that we got in the theater, because we all know that DC's crap in the bed here. But in light of being optimistic, I've been watching some DC shows. I started watching The Flash because the new season just dropped on Netflix, which The Flash is a very enjoyable show. If you like a good sitcom movie in the comic book aspect, The Flash is awesome. And we've been watching Titans. My boy Brian's been telling me that I need to watch this Titans, so he lent it to me to watch. So we're going to talk a little DC some too. And how do you feel about the Flash show, Brian?
I feel like, excuse me. I don't know. Like it got off to a really, really strong start. I'm still trying to catch up. I'm not close enough to like the current season. But I do feel like you can see, like, because I think I'm on like season 4, like halfway through season 4, the beginning of season 5. You do see where Warner Brothers and DC kind of start changing the way that the show goes after their acquisition by AT&T. So, like, it started off and it was really good. Like, it was like that sitcom-y, like dark. It had like a lot going on. Like it wasn't your traditional superhero show. And then where I'm at right now, you can definitely see where AT&T stuck their hand in the pot and they were like, nope, change this, this, and this.
What has changed with the show? What are you talking about?
I just feel like the overall vibe, like I feel like it got repetitive. Because when AT&T jumped into it, they wanted to keep using the formula that worked, so it got really repetitive. It's the same thing that happened with the Arrow right before that ended.
Okay, but wait a second. This isn't a show that's like playing on like Premiere TV. This is a show that played on the CW. Okay, if you wanted to say that, they did the same thing with Smallville. They did the same thing with Charmed. They did the same thing with pretty much any show that's on the CW. If you put in any season of Charmed, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, anything that has ever aired on the CW, if you play the seasons, they're all the same formula. It's a teeny bopper show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the storyline is what I'm saying. It's like regurgitated season after season. Like with Buffy and stuff, when it started getting to that point, that's when they were like, okay, we're gonna do like another season and call it quits. With the Arrow, when that started,
didn't that last about 8 seasons?
Yeah, but it didn't really start getting regurgitated until like season 6 or 7, and then they were just like, okay, we're done at this point.
No, I strongly disagree with that. But the Flash itself, I think, is an awesome show. I mean, the fact that it's repetitive, anything that you're going to play, especially in the comic book aspect, is going to be repetitive. A villain's going to show up. You have to save the day. That's what the people are watching the Flash for. They want to see the Flash kick some ass.
But he doesn't.
No, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, I want to see the Flash kick ass. I'm just tired of seeing like it feels, at least like the first like 4.5 seasons, It
Hey, Mom.
feels like the same villain over and over again. Like,
Oh, no. In my opinion, I'm sorry. In my opinion, I feel like the Flash kind of messed up with their villains because I think Zoom is one of the coolest villains to ever kind of encounter, and they just used him too quickly. They used him in the second season. Obviously, you're going to break ice with Reverse Flash, which is really cool. On the third season, they had to fight Salvatore, or I forget. I don't know. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but that was like crazy, and they like went over the top. This is what I'll say about the Flash, man. The Flash is really cool. If you look to see a show that's very heartfelt and very wholesome, and is not going to have any real darkness to it, like how DC is usually pretty dark, like how the Arrow was very dark, even when they got super repetitive. Like the Arrow itself is a very dark show. Like a lot of travesties happen on the Arrow, but on the Flash, it's not that way. It leaves you kind of feeling warm and thinking they're still kind of good out there. And I love the guy that they got to play Barry Allen. I think he's a really good actor. And I really like the show. I think it's a good show. Now, since we're talking DC, there's another show that's just on the whole other side of the spectrum. The whole other side of the spectrum. And I had to go to the professor after Harley with it because I had to understand, like, is this how like the comic is too? Because I've never read a DC Titans comic. The only Titans I've ever encountered is Teen Titans. And that is definitely a very, happy-go-lucky show. Everything ends in a nice. They're definitely not killing nobody. But on this show, they are killing some dudes. Robin is a psychopath. I mean, like straight up sociopath. And it's insane. And there's a lot of intensity. And like, I'm not so sure how I feel about it yet. I'm on like episode 7 of the first season, but it's definitely caught my interest. Like, it's an interesting show. I'll give DC that. They're screwing up on the silver screen, but with their shows, they're pretty good. They're not bad shows.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people,
except for Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's terrible.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that conversation there, right? That conversation just ended right there. But what I will say about Titans, so a lot of people, like a lot of the diehard fanatics that watch the show, like they loved it because for the first time you get to see what the Titans really were, and it was the prodigies of the superheroes being brought up at a young age. Like, Titans was basically, it was created to show what would happen if a child were exposed to the amount of evil that the Justice League was fighting. And basically, Titans was basically like, okay, yeah, they're gonna get fucked up. Like, this is them. They're gonna become sociopathic murderers.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much a Suicide Squad, man. Like, they're pretty rough.
The beautiful part about it that I like, and you're not there yet, but you'll start seeing it in the second season, especially, is that the Titans do eventually regain their humanity.
Get the fuck out of here! I don't believe you.
No, they really do. That's what I liked about the show. That's what I loved about the comic is basically like the entire moral aspect of the comic was that nobody is beyond salvation. Nobody is beyond redemption.
Oh, so man, you done put me onto a Bible thumping DC show? That's what you're.
No,
I'm just
man.
I'll just play it with you. I'll play it with
tell me DC Comics breed sociopath and psychopaths.
Yes.
Yes.
No, Batman is not a sane man. Nobody just wakes up and says, you know what? I'm gonna jump off buildings today. Just like it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, they're sick in the head.
No, I'm saying they breed them. They
breed them?
People
like little kids. I get you. My bad.
I mean, they're not really bred. Like, Robin was an orphan that unfortunately got adopted by.
Nah, man, I'm saying the comic book does that to real people. They teach them how to be sociopaths.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think that when you read comic books or when you read books or when you watch movies, And like all because I enjoy horror movies doesn't make me like a fucking sociopathic killer. It's a way to channel that energy or to channel that curiosity. It's human nature to be curious about things. And yeah, but like if you're interested in like killing people and things like that, then you are probably a sociopath. It's not media that you're watching or indulging that has turned you into a sociopath. I mean, like, as I don't wake up and be like, I wonder what it would be like if I killed a dude today. Like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. And even like at my worst, I still care for like human content. And I know my son's out of his room, but I just seen him walk past me. And he's gonna walk back to his room before I get upset about it. I'm just kidding. Logan, come here. So I'm just saying, man, all because you watch horrific stuff, like that doesn't make you, that's not breeding a sociopath. It's okay. Say hi to the Hawks.
Hi, Hawks.
Say hi to the Hawks.
Hawks.
Say, Hawks, I'm going to go to my room
Hawks,
and be a good boy.
And be a big boy, but wait.
Oh, he told me to wait.
I'm sorry, Brian, that you're off the show, and I really don't like it.
Okay.
Off the show.
Okay.
I'm right here.
It is what Uncle Brian's here, Uncle Jello's here, and Uncle Mark's here. Can you do me a favor and go to your room?
And is Brian here too?
Yeah, Brian's here too. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
What's up?
See, that was Uncle Brian. All right, go on.
You do it.
Thank you. All right. So, yeah, no, I don't think DC breeds sociopaths. I think,
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
agree. I misunderstood the statement when I agreed. Like, I thought you meant like they create them within the comic book and TV world, not in real life. Yeah, in real life, yeah, I believe that no media at all creates things. It's
all up to the
individual.
person.
Yeah, it's all up to the individual.
So, all right. So we talked some shows. We talked the movie. I want to get into this music, man. I cannot believe how after Harley feels about this. Joyner Lucas, who is one of the most awesomest rappers out there today, dropped a song called Will, where he kind of pays homage to Will Smith, kind of compares his life to Will Smith's life, kind of talks about how this is a person that he looked up to, that inspired him to become who he is, and whatever whatnot. And Will Smith, he heard the song and whatever whatnot, and he jumped on the track. And I will say this about Will Smith: I will watch any Will Smith movie, any of them, even the bad ones. I don't care. This guy was I Am Legend, The Pursuit of Happiness, freaking Bad Boys. This guy's a good actor. He makes good movies. He even played Genie after Robin Williams and made it work. Made it work for what he did. I have a lot of respect for Will Smith. As far as his music, I am not a Will Smith fan. I did not get jiggy with it. I don't know what he did for Wild Wild West, but that was something. Maybe his early stuff, I could listen to or whatever, but I don't have that much respect for him as a musician. But the bars that he dropped on this remix, where he not only paid homage to the people that inspired him, he talks about his family, he talks about his grandmother, he pays Joyner Lucas homage. He was very humble, and the bars that he dropped, I mean, they were clever, man. Like, they were good. And I thought it flowed. And then this fucking joker over here wants to tell me that Will Smith didn't drop no bars. And I want to know, how did he not, dude? How can you sit there and say he didn't drop bars?
All right. I have respect for Will Smith. I love his acting. I love his music from back in the day for what it was. Like, multi-platinum recording artist with no curse words. I mean, which is something unheard of, especially in rap. Like, every other word was a curse word back then. It is today. However, he dropped a song with Bad Bunny and Mark Anthony, and that one was just pretty hype. Like, it made you want to get up and dance. It made you want to, like, feel a certain type of way. Like, I listened to Joyner Lucas's homage of Will, and it was great because Joyner Lucas has that gruffness that, like, he just has that flow that goes with the beat. I'm not saying he didn't I'm not saying he didn't have bars because, I mean...
No,
but listen.
Don't back out of that. Don't back out of that. You said you didn't like them. You said you didn't like the bars.
Exactly. I didn't like the bars. I'm not saying he didn't have them. I'm saying I didn't like them.
Why?
It was way too... I felt like it was elementary school rap.
Bro, he ain't Joyner Lucas. He's not Eminem.
Bro,
Listen. Listen. Hold on a second. Let me just wait 1 second.
All right.
Dude, Joyner Lucas is an amazing lyricist. Eminem, probably the best lyricist ever of our time.
And then you have Will, who is not.
And then you have Will Smith, who is not a lyricist. He is not a rapper. He is not a poet. He is an entertainer. Not only is he an entertainer, he didn't jump on the track and try to pretend that he was somebody he wasn't. All his songs are elementary.
And I feel like, honestly, that's where we disagree. I feel like that's why I felt his bars were weak, like why I didn't like them.
Oh, you're insane.
He did try to blend in to two people he's obviously so far away from the spectrum that his literal verse was just not good to me. Like, all right, cool, like I appreciate that you paid homage to your people before you and to your family and everything, but bro, the bars were weak.
Nah, man, they weren't weak. They had a lot of sentiment, a lot of strength in them. Like, they might have been elementary, but his presence was felt. And the fact that Joyner Lucas, an up-and-coming rapper he's pretty much there, or whatever, whatnot, got to pay homage to his hero, and his fucking hero jumped on the track with him. How many people can say that?
You're right.
That's like history. And the bars he dropped, they might not have been, really awesome wordplay or a bunch of freaking alliterations or similes or anything like that. But it was Will Smith being Will Smith, man. And he laid it out right. Like, it was good. That's like listening to Puff Daddy thinking you're gonna get Biggie. It's not, it's not gonna work. That's not gonna happen. Will Smith can only be Will Smith. And for Will Smith rap, he dropped some bars. Think about it. Think about all his hit songs.
He dropped.
All right, don't even get me started, because if I'm thinking back on his hit songs, he had better bars.
Get out of here. Like what?
Bro, even on his most recent, on the Esta Rico song with Mark Anthony, bro, he had better bars.
Mark Anthony wrote it. He did. Will Smith didn't write it. Mark Anthony wrote it.
Well, then, if that's the case, then...
He just delivered. That's it.
Fresh Prince, Big Will. Come on now.
Listen, I don't see this wordplay and craziness that you speak of. When I hear Will Smith songs, to me, they're elementary. They're not super, super deep or like makes you think about stuff. They're just flat out the truth, blunt, just done. It's easy going. Lay it out for you. That's the kind of rap it is. None of his rap songs like make me think about life or think about anything like that. It's like most of the stuff he dropped were hype songs anyway.
You're right. But I don't know. Like, man. I just feel like to me, like, another reason the bars were weak is because of exactly what you just said. Like, he's always been like a hype guy. Like, it's never been like thought provoking. But then he wants to incorporate that into a song with two rappers that are possibly the most thought-provoking rappers in existence right now.
I mean, he brought balance to the song, man. Can't have three alphas.
I feel like,
come on, man.
He dragged it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, you crazy. You crazy. I ain't gonna. There's nothing else to be said here. Will Smith's the man. I love him. Anyhow.
And I love him too. I love his movies. Huge fan.
Oh shit! All right. So do we got anything here for Will Smith's summertime? Andy just said summertime. That's hilarious. All right. So, anyways, do we have a most cursed photo to show the Hawks? Is this cursed or is it underrated? I forget what we're doing. I forget that. I know it's two different ones. Mark, help me.
Shit, and you know what? I forgot to send Mark my pictures and shit.
We don't have any. I didn't get to put anything together for the most underrated, but I have cursed images. But the problem is I've been loading them in that keep showing up during the live stream, so I stopped doing it. And
I was wondering what that was because I did see the pop-ups during the live stream. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, it was very glitchy. Very glitchy. It's still glitchy. So anyhow,
there's
all right, man. So we covered some cool points. I think we covered some cool points, and me and Brian got to argue a little bit.
Dildo?
I don't know what that is.
That wasn't a dildo. That was.
Those are feet.
Those are 2 feet.
Those are feet. And that, sir, is insane. Who is that? Who is this guy? Why is he on the internet looking like that? Is that pizza and milk?
He thought he was a joke.
I feel like it's cursed.
I'm telling you, bro, that's a dildo.
There's pizza and milk? Whoever did that needs to be shot. You don't dip pizza in milk. You drink the milk after you eat all the pizza so you don't get heartburn. Hi, babe. God damn. People, man. These people. Yeah, so yeah, those are pretty bad photos. It is. Never say that again.
Pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, there's very much blasphemy in the Maurice house.
Fucking delicious.
We ate some of that.
Disgusting.
I know what I'm sending over to Mo's place.
Alright, bring me some pineapple pizza, see what happens to y'all.
Hey, listen, there's a Domino's after that, son.
Oh, you some Domino's in your face in a second.
Bro,
Let us know, guys. It might be a couple of weeks till we get back on. If there's something you want us to talk about, anything you want us to on, please hit us up with a message. Make sure you like, follow, and share. Let us know what's going on. We appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you so much. That's going to be a good night for me.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Some sleepy ass dudes on the show.
I want to keep this baby though.
I'm trying to figure out, are we still alive? Yeah, holy shit, we were.
That's why I said it. I knew we were still alive. I hadn't seen the baby yet. They still listening to us. You hear these jokers, Hawks?